evening, everyone, and welcome to Scene Up Close. I'm Julie Milton, co-publisher and editor of Scene magazine. Tonight in the studio, I have the pleasure of welcoming Anita and Jeff Cordes. And they have a company called Digital Safety Net. It records personal property inventory. And why don't you tell us how you got started in the business?
Well, Anita and I both love to read, and we have quite an extensive library at home. For years, she'd try to keep track of all the books that we had read, wanted to read, from a spiral notebook to a Palm Pilot to different programs. We found some software on the internet that we bought with a small barcode scanner, and we went through our library, took a couple of weekends, scanned all the barcodes into the software. A lot of books that predate that technology we keyed in. As we got all done, we had this nice printout of all of the volumes by author, more information than most people probably cared about, how many pages, who the publisher was. But we had a lot of fun doing it, and we had a nice record, a comprehensive record of what we had. So Sunday afternoon on the lanai with a glass of wine, we talked about how much fun it was and thought, could we make a living doing that? Well, maybe that was too narrow of a focus, so we expanded it to, well, what if we did a whole house? So we did some more research, found some software, bought it, and kicked it around, liked what it offered, liked what we did with it. So we hung out our shingle, and we've been doing it now for a while.
So why would I need a personal inventory record such as you produce?
Well, let me put it this way. Sit here for a second and think of one room in your own home. Now imagine going home and God forbid you'd been burglarized, had a fire. Could you remember from memory what you lost? Most people, they can't.
No, I'm sure
it's such an emotional time that nobody can remember everything. So a property inventory gives a homeowner a comprehensive list of what's in their home. We record descriptions, measurements on electronics, even area rugs. Clients supply us with a value, and when we get all done, they get a portfolio that has photographs and descriptions of all their items, values that they supply, and at the time of an insurance claim, it takes the burden of proof is on the homeowner. So this gives them proof of what they need for insurance claim or for law enforcement.
Yeah, I never thought of it in those terms. I guess you do have the burden of proof. And
exactly.
To try to remember something when tragedy strikes or you've really been forced to come up with it, you probably can't. So
right.
Now, is it just recording the property, or are you videotaping it all? Or
we videotape inside and out. We start typically outside, everything from the expensive landscaping to lanai furniture to whatever they have outside that's important to them. We video, then we go inside, walk through the whole house, video everything from ceiling fans to area rugs. Some people don't want us in their walk-in closet, so it's a big mess. Well, that's okay, it's whatever the client wants, but we video. Then we go through with our digital camera with a wide-angle lens. We take photographs of wall shots. For instance, you might have a television entertainment center. We'll take a photo of that wall, so it's a good reference point, and it shows that that item is physically located in your home.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we go back through and we do close-up shots of the individual items. And a photograph of a television could be any TV, but that wide angle gives it a reference point that it was there.
And what I do then is I will document when I talk to the client. I'll record serial numbers, we'll measure the sizes of the area rugs, whatever it might be, or if they said this was a gift from their mother or their great aunt, and we record whatever information that the client gives us that's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the scribe in a sense, and put down the information while Jeff is doing the video and the digital photography, and that's kind of the personal touch that we're proud of.
And how long does the process take?
We figure it typically takes about an hour per 1,000 square foot. And there again, it depends on the detail, but that's what it averages out to be.
A very small amount of your time as the homeowner
Right.
to have something so important that could be so invaluable.
Right.
When
A
you-
large part of the time is we'll go home then, and of course we're back to our office, and we will input the information, and that's where a lot of the time is keying it in, and we have secure software with our servers, and so just keying it in takes additional time, and then we print it out and give the client the portfolio, which is very detailed, and it also includes a video and a disc of all the photos that we take. And quite often there's more photos that are in the on the CD. Just we give them all the photos that we do take.
Very comprehensive package.
It is.
What about, what if I had a special collection, a stamp collection, or
Yeah, we've
something of
done
that
quite a
nature,
number of
coins?
special collections. Those are a little unique in that there's typically more detail involved. People will talk forever on where they've got a particular stamp or a coin, but coin collections, stamps, antiques, artwork, firearm collections, we've done some of those.
Jewelry.
Jewelry, because people, they're very proud of what they have. They want to keep it so they know what they have, and they like to talk about what's important to them.
And I guess this would certainly apply to businesses as well.
Sure. Yeah, we also do small businesses. We don't go in and count a factory's widgets. I did that for 30 years, and I'm not going back to that. But equipment, we did a tree service in Bradenton where we laid out all these chainsaws, pole saws in the parking lot and photographed them, recorded serial numbers, model numbers, dimensions. We did a real estate office that was in the process of moving. Their site planner wanted footprints of their furnishings, so we went and did photographs and measurements of all their furnishings and gave that to them.
I think one thing that's kind of important to note is that we will customize it to the client's needs, whether it's a business, a small business, or a homeowner. What's important to one person might not be important to another. Somebody is real interested in having us record all their electronics and the serial numbers and all that, and then you go into another home and they could care less, but they want us to make sure that we capture the antiques and the furnishings. So, and in businesses it's the same thing. Whatever's important to the client, we have a base of what we do, but each home is individual, just like each client is individual, and that's what's really a lot of fun about what we do and why we love what we're doing.
Sure. Well, tell us about your backgrounds. How did
Well, my background's in supply chain management and inventory control. I've got a little over 30 years of manufacturing experience, all in supply chain.
Well, I guess the inventory control applies here,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I was either involved in or responsible for, I think I counted about 50 physical inventories in my career. So the counting of stuff is kind of in my blood.
Yeah. And you,
And
Anita?
I've been an office manager, a customer service manager, credit and collections manager. I've always been some form of manager, so it's fun for me to branch out in the customer service part, and what I've learned through the years of how to operate someone else's business. We're just having a ball being able to apply a lot of that to our own business.
I'll bet.
So,
Exactly.
so
It's
it's
so
fun.
nice to be able to
Oh, it
do
is.
something that you're really interested in and passionate about, and that was
Yeah.
born out of sitting on the lanai, having a glass of wine, and you came up with this great idea.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
Jeff and
that's
I,
exciting.
Yep, and we've been together for 28 years plus, and so it's fun to be able to be at this stage to do
Spend
things.
more time together.
Yep, to do it together.
and to do it together.
Yep, and have a good time while we're doing it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, on the personal property side again, so if I called you, tell me, the whole process and how, it would start.
We would set up a time to come to the house. Ideally, we'll set up a time to come and do the inventory. But when we come in, we'll bring the sample portfolio, and we typically will sit down with the client for a few minutes and just get a little bit better acquainted, make sure they understand what we're going to do and what everybody expects to get out of the process. We'll talk about what we're going to do, how the videoing is going to work, the photography, what she's going to record. We'll find out a little bit more about what's important to that client, whether they want to focus on their antiques or if they just want everything documented for insurance purposes. We'll do a walk-through with the client through the home to get a feel for what they have, again, what's important to them. They'll point out different things they want to make sure we capture. And typically we'll do a preliminary walkthrough, and then while Anita is going back with the client recording detail, I'm going out and doing the videoing, doing the wide-angle photography, and typically by the time that's done, it's time for us to walk through, and she will make sure that I capture close up what the client wants.
And sometimes if the client isn't comfortable for Jeff to, go along and just video or do wide angles, the client is welcome to, but quite often after talking to us and understanding the process, it kind of expedites things to just kind of let him do his thing, and then we walk around and say, okay, refrigerator, I purchased it in 2005, I bought it from such and such a store, I paid such and such a price, and so I'm documenting all that, and Jeff's doing his thing, and then, like he said, when it comes time to, we make sure that we got the refrigerator and all the different pieces that are important to the client to have documented.
And I guess the package can be tailor-made to the client as far as whether it's just recorded or videoed.
Sure,
You don't have to have video.
Exactly. We did an office where all they wanted was photographs. We did another one, all they wanted was video. We did a rental property, and all they wanted was video between clients. So it's, again, it's customized to what they want. If they
And for all budgets as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing nice about both is just there again, when you have a video and you're scanning a room or you do the wide angle shots, you remember something that maybe you didn't want an individual shot and say that you bought this at such and such a time, but if there was a loss, it helps you remember, oh gosh, I had this, and it reminds you of what you had.
Yeah, I mean, at stressful times, it's amazing how little we remember.
Exactly.
When we think for sure we'd remember it, and it's not there.
Yeah.
One of the things we hear is, oh, the house is a mess, we have to wait till things are cleaned up and whatnot, and we just tell them, we need to come into your home like it is, because if there is a loss, your house isn't going to be clean, picture perfect, so it just helps remember what you have, and if there's laundry or if there's toys out or whatever the case is, it's your stuff.
Well, even in the case of jewelry, you could be leaving it out normally, and if you're putting it
Absolutely.
away when you come, you may not. That's more of a reason you have to have it documented, because if it's not there, you're not going to remember. You're just not going to remember if it's not laying where you normally put
I mean,
it.
we've talked to people that have had fires or burglaries in their past, and 6 months later they'll remember something that they forgot to put on the insurance claim.
Sure. Well, let's give everyone watching the information of how to get in touch with you.
Wonderful.
Your phone number, 941-713-4507. It's on the screen now. Or you can log on to their website for more information, www.digitalsafetynetfl.com, FL for Florida, of course, .com. That's digitalsafetynetfl.com. And once again, it's 713-4507. Jeff and Anita Cords, thank you very much. It was a pleasure seeing you tonight.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Julie. Good to
Julie.
see you too.
Scene Magazine celebrates 50-plus years as Southwest Florida's longest-running community magazine. Scene delivers the best of Sarasota and Manatee counties through informative articles, vivid images, engaging commentary, and much more. Scene Magazine, your community guide to the people, places, and things that make the Culture Coast so great.